already gone.
Damn.
That
So
was
you
funny,
sit.
dog.
So do you stay over by Mary? Oh, you could get this middle seat right here.
Okay. I
Okay,
live
yeah.
in Cold Spring.
Okay, Jay just moved up out of there.
Yep, that's crazy. It's a small world.
Crazy.
Man, I really appreciate y'all.
Hell yeah.
Big time, man. Big time.
We gotta figure.
Big
what?
time.
I was about to say, watch them drink.
Big
We gotta
time,
figure
big
out a
time.
way to either put them up or something. Cool. I didn't know if you wanted to ash it now. Look like you brought your own little.
Yeah, well, I was like, man, they about to have me come to the church. I'm like, man, I don't know. I got my vape on me though. I'm like, but I was like, okay, we'll see.
Vapor pen, because I need some weed.
Man, shit, you want this might get you going. It's the please tell me I put. Oh yeah, it's the upper downer or in the middle for both.
It's a pen now?
Yeah, I got that when I was in Chicago.
That's a bet, my boy.
I usually at nighttime I switch it to that. This will give you that. This the sativa side.
Okay.
And then that's the indica. Okay. And then if in the middle is hybrid.
You just hold in.
Press the back. Well, select where you want to be at.
Yeah, over here.
And then press and draw.
I can't smoke that here. I'll fuck around, never be here again.
Yeah. I'm going to take a hit too. Yeah, I'm going to take a toke. Yeah.
What you been on today?
I was working, then after that I did my exercise classes. I be stacking them. I do HIIT class, and then after that I do a yoga class. And then I was just...
You be directing them? Like teaching them?
No, I just attend. Yep. Part of my regimen, trying to stay, somewhat healthy. Gotta stay active.
I like it.
Gotta stay active. Why does this church seem familiar, man? I swear I've been here before.
Maybe you have, bro. It's been open for a long time from what I heard. Damn.
Your hoodie's fire, bro.
Appreciate
It's
it,
my
man.
favorite thing that you've
We
done,
gonna
bro.
get into
Look,
that
this
for
one is
sure.
super exclusive though. I got a heat press, right? And I ended up getting what they call gang sheets to press them. But I ran out of, I got a few left on my site, but I don't keep a lot because long story. But anyhow, this particular one, I actually added a little extra to it.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
We're gonna get into that.
All right, yeah.
What's it gonna take for us to get a couple of those to wear for episode?
Can we calm?
All right, bro.
Can we wait?
Let's try and get some free merch, bro.
Can we wait?
Sizing? I mean, I only got, what I got left? I think I only got like medium and a small medium, maybe a small medium large. That's it. These super exclusive.
That's tough, though.
But yeah.
You rolling?
Yeah, bro, we're good.
Where should I?
I mean,
Here,
nah. Could you do it on the hat?
on the side, top,
Put it on
front,
the bill? Yeah.
right here.
That'd be cool right there, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're good.
Alright, cool.
Let's get into it.
Welcome to the How You What podcast, the littest podcast in the world, always hosted by yours truly, is Dino. We got my co-host, Big Doe Man, and we got Paul Bacardi Smith in the building. How you what, gang?
What up, though? Hey,
What up, though?
Yeah, what up, though?
Man,
What
shout
up,
out-
though? How you what, man? Yo,
God.
Midwest, man. I'm great, man. Gratitude, man. My whole campaign has been just, I lead with gratitude. Like, I don't care how bad my days are. It's just gratitude for me, man. From here on out till it's over.
that.
Every day is a great day.
That's how it should be, bro.
Every day. I don't care if I ain't got no money. I don't care if things is rough. It's a great day because that's the only day you have until you get another one. If you get another one.
There you
You
go.
know what I'm saying? God willing. So I'm great, man. Great space mentally, physically.
That's a great way to live, bro. one thing I wanted to tap into while we're on the topic. You said physically and mentally. Um, I met you. Well, I met you before I met you.
Right.
I met you at Vasa Fitness. How important is working out and staying on top of your mental and physical health?
It's extremely important, man. Like, as a human being living this human existence, in no particular order: physical health, mental health, spiritual health, and financial health. That's it. Those are the main four right there. Cause you live in this body, man. So if you're not doing no type of maintenance on it, it's gonna put you in check.
Cool.
And I learned that because I get old. I'm getting older, and or wiser, I should say. And it's one of them things, man. You just gotta keep moving. That motion, like we are literally designed to keep it moving.
I feel that. Gotta say emotion.
Yep.
Get in the gym. Get in the gym. Get your mind right. Get your body right. Because those things will take you a long way.
Absolutely, and it's gonna be a crazy segue to getting your mind right, because that's what actually led me here, man.
Okay, we'll get to that in a little bit. The intro. What up, though? I know what that means.
What?
Not a lot of people might know what that means. So where does that come from, and how is that?
It's a Detroit slang, man. Like, it's something we've been knowing since probably the '80s, man.
Oh, it was before that. My pops.
Like for me, I was born in '78, so
okay.
like so yeah. But yeah, it's a Detroit greeting, man. And it's crazy. It's this guy. His name is Filthy Rockwell. He was smart enough to trademark the phrase.
For real.
If you Google "what up, though," he trademarked. He coined the phrase. I'm like, see, he's smart.
I mean, I need to trademark how you what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put that no, for real.
T-shirts.
Get on it.
Oh God.
Get on it. I can give you all the. I know how to trademark because I actually trademarked this word watermelon, and it's my intellectual property. This even tells you where I was when I was making this. Now I got the R with the circle because I got the certificate and everything.
Fire.
So it took about a year.
Fire, bro.
Several $100s in emails, but it's worth it, man. It's worth it.
I got you. So let's start in Detroit. Let's start growing up. First off, how was it growing up in Detroit?
Man, growing up in Detroit, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, it was scary fun. It was like, for me, I came up. I'm Generation X, so we came up when we still had rotary phones, black and white TVs for a minute, VHS. We got to see the turn of the technology to where it was like, oh, cell phones, digital stuff. So we had to thug it out, man. It was pay phones and stuff. It was, put it like this, I grew up in an analog stage of life to where it started crossing over into digital. So for me, man, it was like a lot of fun moments, man. Just sitting around young and just watching people like doing their thing and stuff like that, man. Like, it's funny because I'm from the west side. I grew up off Drury Road in Livernois. And in my neighborhood, out that way, you had like different crews and stuff like that. You know how like now, like when you talk about like Detroit, they always reference like BMF. But there's a group that was kind of before them called YBI. And they was from the west side, and I was young. We would see like cats from YBI kind of doing their thing or whatever. But I was never like no street dude. I was in the streets, but not like of it, because I was too busy playing with toys and just having fun, like, you know, my youth and stuff like that. And grew up with my grandparents. We had the household like where you had your grandparents in the household and your parents. Kind of like the old school, how it was kind of like in the South. But then like I just got into creativity because of my uncle, man. My Uncle Bernard. See, I was exposed to art at a young age. My Uncle Bernard, we would see like sculptures through the house, paintings and stuff. And I remember when I was little, we would go visit. He's like my stepdad. He's deceased now. His name is Derek. And his brother, Bernard, was a family artist.
Okay.
And we would go visit them in the Martin Luther King homes. And I remember going in, it'd be like sculptures sitting on tables and paintings on the walls. And I'm little, and I'm looking at the sculptures. I'm like, it's not a toy, but what is it? Like objects, these objects sitting around. I'm just kind of like thinking of like purpose and utility. Like, what are these objects for? So like for me growing up, it was a lot of curiosity. Like, man, what's this? What's that? We was so creative coming up, man. Like we had to do without in certain instances, but that's where your creativity would come in. If we wanted toys and we couldn't get toys, we would get a like the Sunday paper. It would be Toys R Us, KB Toys, Children's Palace, and like J.C. Penney, and we would cut the pictures of the toys out and play with the pictures. Like I wanted all the Transformers and GI Joes. I would cut them out, and my sister had the Barbie dolls and My Little Ponies, Rainbow Bright or whatever. We would literally cut out like paper versions of the toys that we wish we had, man, and we was cool with that.
That's fine.
So it was a lot of creativity, man, and then just regular Detroit stuff that you hear about on the news, But I was fortunate enough to navigate through a lot of stuff.
There you go. So you mentioned your Uncle Bernard. He kind of got you into the art game.
Man,
But,
yes.
What got you to create your own stuff?
All right, so it's like a big gap in my like artistic journey.
Okay.
So like when I was little, I used to just draw and sketch. It was out of necessity. Because I remember the airbrush era when people was getting their pens airbrushed. We couldn't get no airbrush. So I took magic markers and I would just like write it on the pans. And then people liked it and I would just do it for people. Like, oh, they bring me their pans. And I'm just, when Belle Biv DeVoe and all them different groups was airbrushing their pants, they was coming to me and I was just drawing it on their pants. Or like if I wanted a shirt and I couldn't get a shirt, I would draw whatever I wanted with a ink pen and a marker. So for me, it was necessity. It's like taking, like, if you don't have something or access to something, you like, man, how could I compensate for this? What could I do? So that's what the start was for me. And then when I got through like elementary school, I had a friend. His name was Erwin Pittman. I gotta mention his name. I don't know where he at or what what his situation is, but when we were in the library, we sat at these round tables and we would sit down, and me and him were the only people in the class that had like that artistic capabilities to draw. Man, they used to have the Word Up magazines with all the rappers, and we'd sit there and draw like Humpty Hump, Shock G, and whoever. He was so much of a better like cartoonist, and he can draw from memory, man. His style was crazy. I can still see it in my head, man. I'm gonna have to look him up and see if he's still around, man, because he was like a very pivotal person in like me sketching, because we used to draw. We used to compete, man. That was the thing. Like, oh, I can draw. Who you gonna draw? We would sit up and draw against each other and pass it around the class and see who was the best.
Yeah.
And like, if I'm gonna lose, he's the person to lose to, man. So steel sharpen steel, man. So that was one section. And then move forward, I get to high school. I didn't take art classes or nothing, but there was another guy in my high school. His name was Paul Beard. We both had the same name, first name Paul. He was amazing. He actually knew how to airbrush too. I mean, this guy could have worked for Marvel if he wanted to. I mean, he was amazing. He was another one of those persons that like kind of kept me on my toes at that time, like sketching and stuff. And going back to that, we be in chemistry class. Draw whoever, Wolverine or something from the X-Men. And then after that, when I decided to go to college, not college, after high school, I ended up becoming a foreign exchange student. So I went to Switzerland. That really, really planted a very, very, like, it planted a seed that's, to this day, I'm starting to realize, like, dang, it's like one of them, like, you look back moments, like, wow, I just realized what I was exposed to. So check this out. So when I was in high school, my 11th grade year, some people came to the school and it was like, oh, we're from this program called AFS. And they asked people, do they want to be foreign exchange students? I just grabbed the brochure because I didn't want them to look like, oh, we wasting our time in this school, Detroit Public School, McKenzie High School, whatever.
You went to McKenzie?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my pops went to McKenzie.
For real?
Yeah.
Hey, that's what's up, boy. Stags, man. That's
hilarious.
crazy. See,
because you saying Joy Road, Livernois. I know where Livernois is.
Yeah.
And I know Joy Road. That you ain't too far from where my people say.
That's
so,
crazy.
Yeah.
I probably know your peoples too.
Shit, probably.
It's
That's wicked.
It's a lot of full circle moments that I've been experiencing since I've been living in Indianapolis, man. We'll get through that. So then, like when I before college, so my senior year, I still had that brochure.
Yeah.
The people came to the school again, and I was like, man, I think I want to do this. Because my mom has always been the type that pushes me, say, hey, son, whatever you want to do, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
It was never any, like, boundaries to nothing. My mother would never, like, downplay something. If I said I want to be an astronaut, she was like, all right, here goes some information about becoming an astronaut. If I said I want to be a farmer, she'd be like, all right, here's some information. So when I brought that brochure home, I was like, look at this. Oh, man, I could go to a foreign country. And then she was like, you should do it. And I was like, yeah, I think I want to do it. Filled out the application. We did the interview process. And it was in the southeastern Michigan area. I was number one, man. I felt like I was like Jordan or LeBron or somebody. Because when they selected all these students from southeastern Michigan, I ranked at the top to get selected. So it was like a scholarship. You had to do a little bit of fundraising, but for the most part, they covered most of it. Mm-hmm. So when it came to me getting in the program, I selected Switzerland. My options were Switzerland and Denmark. Okay. I didn't know nothing about either. It's just like, whatever. I don't care. A lot of people wanted to go to like France and stuff. This one guy, he went to Russia, man. This dude named Miles. He's another reason why I did it, because when he came back during my 11th grade year, he said, hey, man, bro, take advantage of that.
Yeah,
do it.
Gotcha.
He went to Russia.
Yeah, that's wicked, bro.
It was this dude from Chicago. He went to Greenland or something, or Iceland, and he said his experience was crazy. But anyhow, so when I got selected, went to Switzerland. When I get there, the host family that I'm staying with, the host mother, had an art gallery. It was called RT Co.
That's insane.
And her husband had an engineer, and he was an engineer. They had like a what do you call that? Like a storefront.
Yeah. Her
art gallery was next to his industrial firm or whatever.
Crazy.
So I would go in her shop and just see like art everywhere, sculptures. Man, I went on a trip with her. We went to Dijon, France, and you know Dijon, that's where the mustard comes from. Oh, so we drove, me and her, we went on a road trip. Because she had an artist that she was getting work from in Dijon. So I went with her, man. Had a good time. Went to somebody's house. It felt like a movie, because the dude, I don't understand a lot of French. I knew more German at the time than French because they split up based on locations. Anyhow, so we there. And she's like curating stuff from the guy. She's collecting, the art. And I'm just sitting here chilling. His daughter was there, and she was just like, you want to go hang out? And why they do that? I'm like, yeah, man, this lady pulled out some hashish inside a little foil. And we out there walking around chilling. And then we end up going over somebody's crib. The funniest stuff happened. We go to this house, knock on the door. This like neo-Nazi dude opened the door. Oh. Like you can hear the music playing. Open the door. It was, man, I wish we had this was like 96 though.
Yeah.
So, man, when he opened the door, this big, bald-headed, skinhead-looking dude, we both looking at each other like, what the? Could you imagine, bro? Like, this is in Dijon, France. Yeah. And you chilling, and then your homegirl come to the door with some black dude, and you not really rocking with that. That was such a crazy moment, but it was like, I just laughed. I'm like, that's interesting. And I guess she was getting some smoke from him or whatever. And then we just walked around and went back over to the house. So
this is your exchange student or her mom?
No. My host mother was at the dealer's, the artist's house.
Y'all went off.
His daughter was like, hey, let's go walk around and let them handle the business.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, I got to go stop over here. And when she knocked on the door, the dude came. We just stared at each other. I was just like...
Yeah, that's nasty.
I could read his mind already what was and I was like, whatever, we ain't tripping. So I was always in tune with art. And then over there, like graffiti and stuff like that was like big. real big. People
Okay.
was like getting paid to do like buildings and stuff like that. Like they appreciate graffiti.
Really?
Still
So-
to this day, man, some of the best graffiti you're gonna find it in like Germany, Amsterdam, and stuff like that.
So it's bigger in Europe than it is here?
It's more appreciated.
Okay.
They appreciate art more in Europe, from my experience, because I've been to Amsterdam too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of the best graffiti artists outside of like New York and L.A.
Mm-hmm.
are in Europe easily. Yep.
I got a couple of graffiti murals done at my shops. They're fire, bro.
Oh yeah.
Super fire. Yeah.
Yeah, man, they love it out there, man. Like that's one thing I respect about like Europe is their thing is like it just got to be dope.
Yeah.
You can't just be like tagging your name. Make it art, like add some depth and some character to it, man. Instead of just like whatever your tag is, man. So after Switzerland, I get to Detroit, and then I started going to Wayne State University,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was an art major.
Okay.
So that was like 97-ish, 97, 98-ish in that time period. I was an art major only for 1 year, man. Crazy stuff. So I was doing art, a lot of charcoal drawings, tried a little watercolor, mostly charcoal drawings. Like that's where I was in the first stage of it. Man, and I used to carry my portfolio bag. And, them bags is like this big, catching the bus. It's like real big because you got to be able to put you don't want to roll up your paper. So sometimes, like you see, it's got to be big enough to carry something even bigger than this. So you got this bag on your shoulder and it's a big old square.
It ain't had two straps, just put it on your back.
Nah, it was straight over the shoulder, man. And I was catching a bus. I have to sit there like this.
Yeah.
So what happened was, I'm doing my thing for close to about a year, and I was walking, and this older black guy said something to me, man. This is where things like, this is one of those teachable lessons, man. So the guy, he was like, "Oh, you an art student?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Well, art ain't really, that's not really a real career, man. You need to get into like business, become an executive, blah blah blah." And guess what? I was convinced. I went the next week, changed my major.
For real.
I changed my major, man, and I got into like marketing and a minor in advertising, like business administration.
Mm-hmm.
I was so focused on trying to live the corporate life, being in the building with the suit and tie on, like I was convinced like that's the way. And so I left. I put art in my back pocket or on the table somewhere in the back, man, for years. So what ended up happening down the line, I was always sketching a little art here and there, but it wasn't really popping like that. So I ended up studying recording arts. I did that for a while, and I got into the music side of things and stuff. And that's funny. That's what brought me here at that time. I had a good friend named Cedric, and me and him was friends down in Florida because we went to the school. What was it called? Full Sail University. We went there. We studied recording arts, and we was locked in, dog. And so we always kept in communications. We had like this business endeavor that we tried to do when we got out of school, and then after like 4 years of doing that, it didn't hit on nothing. So we was like, man, let's get back into music. And he was like, all right. I got a cousin in Indianapolis, his cousin Darnell. He was like, I got a cousin, and he's got a building on the west side, and he's got some studio equipment. We can bring our stuff, link up with him. I said, all right, cool. That sounds cool. And at the time, I was in Detroit struggling, man, just trying to, because we was doing this 4-year project. I won't say too much about it, but it was a very lucrative thing. Had it played out the way it's supposed to, we'd have probably been close to $1 billion. I ain't gonna lie. I can show you the documents and the paperwork to prove it, but it was some stuff that wasn't in our control, like crazy. But I got a feeling it can still happen. This business endeavor that we
always can, bro.
But anyhow, so after that, we pivoted, got back into music. We had a studio. It was called D Sound Studio. So we came down here to visit in 2014. Was it 2014? It was before we moved here. We ended up moving here in 2015. I think we came down here and visited just to kind of sniff it out. And then he hit me up. It was 2015 when he hit me up like, hey, man, you still want to shoot that movie to Indianapolis? I said, let's do it. He was all right, bet. So he came down before I did, checked out the area. and then he found an apartment on West 38th Street, not too far from where the gym is. If you heading towards the Andy Trail on St. Thomas and 38th. So we was roommates for some years when we moved here. We had a studio on Georgetown and 38th Street. Because his cousin, they had a bakery too. His aunt had a bakery, and then the studio was right next to it.
Oh, for real?
So it was his cousin Darnell, him, and then me.
The studio was on 38 too?
Yeah, that's where the studio was. It was next to the bakery. It was called D Sound Studio. We was hosting podcasts back then, bro. We was ahead of stuff. And then like we started doing business with like nonprofit organizations. We had a lot going, and then as soon as COVID hit, some shady stuff happened, as you know how stuff is.
It's still there? The studio's still there?
Nah, everybody kind of split because there was a transition where this nonprofit was supposed to fund. They had an agreement with this organization for a build out of a new studio, like state of the art stuff, and they breached the contract and you know all of this stuff. But
crazy.
So they moved all their equipment out into storage, and everybody just kind of went their own ways. I turned my living room into like a makeshift studio, and I used to record one of my friends. And after that, what got me to where my current art state was, I had a job, a factory job. I'm not gonna mention the name of the company. People can figure that out easily. But I had a factory job. It was a good paying job, but during that time period, I was dating this lady. And she dumped me, and then I lost my job like within 3 weeks of that. So it was just like, oh man, I don't got dumped. I was cool with that. Like, all right, I can handle getting dumped. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they called me in the office, like, hey, you know, we found this document that you didn't enter the information correctly, and you know that violates the policy of falsifying documents. And I'm like, bro.
Damn, it was like once.
I'm like, bro, I've never had a write-up before. I never been suspended.
Oh, nah, bro.
My head was spinning. I was like, so then I ended up getting fired on Juneteenth, though.
Oh,
like,
no, they got your ass up out of there.
Officially, I was fired on Juneteenth. Because check it out.
19th, get your ass the fuck up.
What they do, look, this what happens.
Black asshole, nigga.
Yep. For real, this what happens. So, you can do let me see what y'all got.
Oh, see, nigga, I asked you if you want.
I ain't know. I don't want no pumpkin shit.
See why, bro? I think it's a black people.
Oh, I'll do the cherry then. Wait, what's that one?
Cherry, damn, I ain't even tried that one.
You got that in your hand?
This ain't cherry. This raspberry.
Here, you want? Let him have that one, bro. This shit's fire.
Oh yeah, we can switch.
All right, cool. Appreciate it. Y'all ain't got watermelon?
Nah.
All right. So
hey, we were just talking about how you what flavor. We were talking about it being watermelon.
No, this nigga said.
I said some out of pocket.
Don't say we. You said watermelon.
You know what? I got to get him in a watermelon shirt. You'll be the first white person wearing one. For real.
Funny. We gonna get there.
No,
because I just peeped some other shit that we need to talk about. So
yeah.
We gonna keep.
All right. So I lost the job, but the appeal hearing kept getting pushed back. And in the day they decide to accept the appeal, will you plead your case against a panel to see? I knew it was a setup because each time they did a panel, they kept breaking the panel down and changing the people out until they found the right people to say, get this nigga up out of here. That's pretty much what it was, but who cares?
Shit.
But that's led me to something better. Anyhow, so yeah, I lost my job on Juneteenth, dog. You could not ask for like a more like weirder, like, I'm like, fuck. But guess what? So after I lost my job, mind you, the breakup, that was already kind of, all right, whatever. I'm like, damn, man. So I went through a deep state of depression. When I say deep, man, I'm just sitting there like, what do I do now?
I want to ask you how you handled yours, because I went through a similar situation. Except I didn't get fired. I was in that state and my head was all fucked up. I was like, hey, I'm out of here.
Yep.
So how'd you bounce back?
Listen, dog, I'm gonna tell you like this, dog. Number one, you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. You gotta have the right people in your corner. So I had this trifecta, right? It was in no particular order: my mother, my sister Sharon, and my homeboy Cedric. That was my triangle of support during that time period. Cause I didn't even tell a lot of the family that I lost my job and all that. Cause I was embarrassed, man. I was there for 7 years and I was moving up a little, and I took pride in like perfect attendance and just being like,
And you have perfect attendance.
bro. I was like but what it was too, to be, I guess I'll say, to hold myself accountable. They got tired of my black ass too, cause I was sharp. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was sharp. Some people thought I was arrogant too. So it was one of them things. Like, when people conspire against you, then it don't matter what you do. But anyhow, so man, when you when you get fired or broke, when somebody dump you, your self-worth becomes a question. You like, what am I worth? I'm not a good enough man to be with a woman. I'm not a good enough worker to work a job. You start looking inward, like, who am I then? It makes you you kind of, if you have on your armor, you got a big hole in your armor now. Like, like, damn, your ego gets bruised, which you're not supposed to operate off the ego, but your confidence gets bruised and stuff like that. So what I end up doing, so it was my sister, man, my sister Sharon. When I was telling her, like, oh, I don't know what to do, she said, that's when I was in the gym more. I was walking at the canal walk. That's my zen spot. You can catch me there on any Saturday, damn near. The canal, I was walking the canal, sitting down in the grass, grounding, looking at the sun, talking to God. That's how I do stuff.
We hella similar.
So, Pete, my sister said, why don't you draw? Make some art. When we was young, you was so creative. And I was like, okay. I went to Michael's. And this is when, if I shed a tear, this the moment, bro. Yeah. Man, I went to Michael's, man. And I bought some canvas paper. And I bought 3 prime canvases that were black. And the very first painting that I painted was acrylic on canvas, and it's this right here.
Go ahead and show the people.
This is from a film that my friend Cedric had me play him in. I was on both sides of the camera. It's called Butterfly. So this right here is the first painting that I did. It was because during we were filming at Raj Church. I think it's on like 52nd Street. He was the audio guy.
Okay. Doing
the audio and stuff. And so he had full access to the church, everything. And so the car is a 1964 Bonneville. Yeah. And one of the church members named Tim let him borrow the car for the scene, for the film. So during the scene, when you watch Butterfly, like before we was switching in between, I'm always documenting stuff behind the scenes, like in between cuts, taking pictures. And I had this image on my phone. And when I decided to paint, I was thinking, like, what should be the first thing I paint? So I painted this, man. And then after this, I was like, okay, this is cool. So I showed my sister, Sharon. And she sent me a picture of her my nieces. They're twins. They were working on their bikes. And so when she sent that picture, I was still going through it. And then this was the second thing I painted. And this was in June or July of 2023. And when I painted this, I put 60 hours into this painting, man. Even the frame, though. Bro. Like, I spray painted this, I spray painted that. This, man, listen, when I painted this image, man, I was at one of the lowest points in my life. And I just kept painting every day. I was sitting in a hot apartment with the ceiling fan on with my shirt off painting. And this picture just brought so much joy. You see, their names is Taylor and Sanaa. I don't know who's in the front or back. Let's just say this probably Taylor. That's Sanaa back there. So I painted this picture, man. The more I kept painting, I started like diving, just allowing myself to get deeper into the craft. I said, man, this feels good. This is how I got back mentally. This right here. This art is what brought me back mentally.
I fuck with that.
Like, I started feeling like, oh, I could paint the world that I want. through canvas. If I want to be happy, I can just paint happiness.
Yeah.
You feel me? So this right here, these two pictures were the first pictures I painted, and I was doing acrylic in 2023, man.
I fuck with
And then I immediately switched to oil in 2024.
I fuck with that. And I say we're similar because it's like the same story, dog. The same fucking story.
That's how life be sometimes.
I got broken
man.
up with. I told you I left my job, and I was at the lowest point in my life.
Yeah.
That's when I started hanging with them more. I started hanging with Jake, started hanging with Jaden and my man's TA. We went to church, went to walks every single day. Rain, sleet, snow.
That was the best.
I was outside every single day. I got a journal. I started journaling. And then I started making these videos, bro, and started streaming again. And when I started doing what I love, boy, this shit
Ain't that a good
evolved. The best feeling. So, anybody going through it, first off, get in the gym, bro. Get in the gym.
Find something you love.
And then find something you love.
And become obsessed with it.
Dog, it's only going to lead you to a great place.
Exactly. It's going to lead you to a podcast.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's going to lead you to a podcast.
Lead you to a podcast.
How you what?
And you know what's dope? This is my first podcast since I went pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Outside of the whole movement. So just to give some context to what I just said. So my renaissance or my rebirth in Indianapolis literally just started like after I started painting in 2023. Mm-hmm. I was always going to, you ever heard of Butter Art Fair?
Yeah, we
so
get there.
Yeah. So that was my whole thing right there. It's going there, and I was like, man, I'm painting now. Let me see what I can do.
Cool. So let's get into that right now. Let's get so you mentioned how you got back into art. Yep. What kind of led you, or what got you into shows?
So what I ended up doing, man, like I said, man, you gotta find something you love, become obsessed with it, and stalk it. Mm-hmm. So, funny story, the first Butter, I missed it because my dumb ass pulled up on Sunday while they was leaving. I'm thinking like, oh, I'll just go on Sunday. Man, I pull up. It closes at like 6 o'clock on Sunday. I pull up at 6:15. I'm like, where everybody going? I go on and look. I was like, you know what I told myself in the car?
What's that?
I never miss Butter again. Butter 2, I'm up there like, oh, this is dope. And then Butter 3 was when it was like, okay, man, I'm kind of showing people my work at Butter 3. I'm like, look, I'm an artist. I'm campaigning. I met talking with the directors, and I'm like, I do art. Every time they see me, I made sure I made myself accessible and memorable. Like I was throwing on outfits. People thought it was like, you an artist? I said, yeah. Where your art at? I was like, oh, I'm not displaying, but I'm an artist because I wanted my image to be right. Like when I walked in, they knew like this guy an artist. So, man, I kept presenting myself, putting myself in the predicament to be selected. So
you should, bro.
What I end up doing, I met one of the directors. One of the directors, she's over the curation department. Deanna Craig, I met her, and I'm just chopping it up with her. Kept the line open, back and forth talking. I see Alan Bacon and Molly. Those are like the founders of it. So I made every time I saw them, I would say hi to them and just congratulate them on their success and just kind of like open up that like that conversation of just like a familiar face, like letting you know like I rock with y'all. Yeah. So, crazy story. I was supposed to be in Butter 4, but I missed out on the opportunity. Tell you what happened. So after campaigning for myself and just presenting myself, sending emails and portfolio shots, all of that, Deanna sent me an email saying, "Oh, would you be interested in participating in Butter?" But the problem was that email, for some reason, only went to my old iPhone 7 Plus. Mm-hmm. I got this 11 that was acting crazy. I decided to swap my SIM cards. The invite was sent in April. I didn't swap my SIM card until November. And when I looked in the phone, I looked at the email that don't sync to nothing else, and I seen the invite to Butter 4. I almost passed out. I was
Yeah,
like,
I would have been sick, man.
so look, I ended up responding in real time.
Yeah.
I said I wouldn't ghost y'all or nothing like that. Man, so what I ended up doing after that, I locked in. I said, man, let me, and then they spawned the block, as she said. She said, we spawned the block on you. And I was like, I was so grateful for that, man. So I just kept working, man. Just kept working. Um, One thing is to get into something like that, you have to have some dope shit. It's on their website. It was like, dope shit only, basically. Like, you gotta challenge the narrative too. You gotta, cause we can all, like, artists. Once you get into that field or that stadium or whatever, you can paint something, but it's like, what are you painting? You gotta make something memorable. Some people have their own styles. You got some people that would just paint like, oh, I'm gonna paint Bart Simpson skateboarding. Okay, but that's not even your own whatever.
Yeah.
But it's more like you gotta not only push the envelope, you might have to make your own envelope
Facts.
to push.
I like that.
You feel me?
I like that. That's
pushing the envelope. Like, how
good
about
ass
you
quote.
make an envelope and then be like, yo, this is me. So, yeah, I just kept campaigning for myself, man, and showing up for myself. So that's how I got into it, man. Even when I wasn't a part of it, I was supporting the artist, championing the artist, giving congratulations. Hey, that's dope. That's dope. Treating it the same way. And that's, kind of what got me in it. And you got to be likable, too. Your work got to be dope, and you got to be likable.
Facts.
Whether you polite, whatever. You can't just be a talented asshole, because they're going to be like, oh, we can pick somebody else. So that's some of it.
And then when you're in there, that's a part of manifesting. I feel like you manifested that, bro.
Yeah, I kept showing up. Even when I wasn't in it, I was stalking it. The first two artists I met at Butter was Gary G and Fitz.
Oh, we got Gary G scheduled. I can't wait.
Gary G and Fitz was they're very pivotal in my success as far as, Butter and stuff like that. Because just watching them, how they move, how they operate, and then just talking with the curators and stuff, man, just really, really like, hey, I'm Paul Bacardi Smith. I'm an artist. But then I was like, let me stop talking. Let me start creating. So I just kept posting. And then I made a post on Instagram. I laid out all my artwork. And I tagged Butter in it. Just was like, yo, it was like, wow. One thing about the art world, especially like if you're dealing with gang, they like a good narrative. They want to tell, we writing history on canvas. Some of the ones that paint. We're writing the history now. We don't gotta ask for permission to be at the table. We know how to make tables and chairs. You feel me?
Facts.
So that's what we own. So that's kind of a part of that too, man.
Love that, dog. So let's get into the watermeloning. You already said that you trademarked that.
Yeah.
And so did that start out as an art piece, or how did the whole idea come about?
All right. So let's go back to around late 2017 ish to 2018. There was a guy out of DC named Petey Green. He was a famous TV personality and like radio host. And it was like some old archival footage floating around Instagram. He was sitting in one of them wicker chairs, them Black Power chairs, the basket chairs.
Yeah.
And he was sitting there eating some big ass watermelon. He was like, black folks, don't be ashamed to eat watermelon. You gotta love who you are. And I was like, that's dope. He just sitting there in his chair slicing up the watermelon. And I said, And then also during that time, you was having all this shit with police brutality, all the different, every month it was a new person's name being a hashtag. And I just kind of went through this like Black man in America moment where I was like, damn, what the fuck? So I started like going through like historical stuff, dealing with like the treatment of like black people in the Jim Crow South and etc. And then I went and revisited. It was already in my head from watching Petey Green with the watermelon. I was researching the watermelon and the history of watermelon in the U.S. and how they used to show negative images of black people with big lips and looking crazy. Man, that was like a psyop, man.
Yeah,
so what happened with that was blacks in the South during the Jim Crow time or even before that, watermelon was their cash crop.
Really?
They was making bank off of it. So white folks didn't like that, and they would start demonizing it because they want to trick them off their square. So people was like hiding, eating watermelon and ashamed of it.
Yeah.
And so that tied into the Petey Green statement. And then when I came across the image of a slave ship, I instantly put it together. Like this was the slave ship right here. And the first thing when I looked at that image, I was like, that looks like the hull of a watermelon. Cause when Petey Green cut it, he said you got to get down in the hull. When he said the word hull, Hull, the first thing I correlated that with was a ship. I was like, yo, hold on. And then I started like going through looking. I said, oh, I got an idea. I'm about to take the ship half and put it on the watermelon and cut it down in a quadrangle, like, and then I'm like, what should I call it? And I was just playing around with words. I was like, well, I used to rap too, so I can play with words a little bit. And I was like, everybody was talking about melanin and melanated people. And I was like, I kept saying watermelon. And I said, watermelonin. I said, oh. So I was like, watermelon. And I was like, and then I was like, it's the water for the ship and the watermelon, and then the melanin for the melanated people. And I was like, oh, put that together. So I did it digital. On the iPad and this app I was using called Procreate. And then I ended up selling it on this website where they do like digital prints. And I had a friend that I worked with at the factory, at the plant, or whatever you want to call it, the warehouse. Her name was Mary Sanford. She's deceased now, but she died like 4 years ago maybe. She was an older woman, but I showed it to her. She was from like Alabama. And she was like, oh, I like that. That's powerful.
Yeah.
You know what she told me, man, when I showed her the first iteration of watermelon?
What's that?
She said, you should keep doing that. That was in 2018-ish. And I was kind of doing it lightweight. But when I lost the job, I went back and I painted it on the canvas. And it's actually at, U of Indy on the south side.
Yeah.
It's at this lady named Primrose. She's doing it.
Yeah, she got. Yeah, I
She
know.
got
yeah,
it.
we locked in.
She got it. She got the originals.
Yeah,
all
cause
of
she tapped in with Ty now, so Billy stuff up there too. You know Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy
Yep,
stuff up
yep,
there, Ty
yep,
stuff up there,
yep.
Dame stuff. Yeah.
Yep. So, crazy story about that. So when I got selected to be in Butter this past Labor Day weekend, the piece that I had at Butter 5, I specifically made that to be put in Butter because the pieces that I did initially that are at U of Indy, it was just too small scale and it needed some work because it was on acrylic. It wasn't my best work. Like I said, you got to make some dope shit. So when they said, oh, okay, we want to see some work you got, whatever, I said, oh, I'm about to scale up. This watermelon is my most impactful piece because they're going to ask you to submit like up to 5 pieces of work for consideration. And then after that, they'll do a visitation and see all your works. And so that big one, I was like, man, this the one right here. I don't care if y'all say you can't submit but one, that piece was going to be my one because I wanted my entry into the professional art space, if you want to call it that. I want to make sure I come in there bold, like, yo, I'm here. So that shit was crazy, man. The way I pulled it off, man, too. Y'all didn't go to Butter, did y'all?
No.
So you want to know, like, so when I did the piece, you want me to break the piece down and then go?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
with the piece, the particular piece I painted for Butter when I was painting it, like over here, this area still had the people in it, but the people were actually like seeds. So when I painted it, I actually put a seed on there. It was a seed on the actual artwork. Because at the time of painting it, I was eating watermelon, looking at the canvas. It was funny. So I cut a watermelon in half, and you holding it like a bowl. So I'm sitting there looking at the art. So then I'm painting, going back and forth. I'm almost done painting. I took the paintbrush, and I didn't go down. I went into the bowl. I'm like, oh, shoot. I said, I'm trying to kill myself. I'm trying to eat paint. So when the paintbrush went into the watermelon, I was like, well, I'm almost done. I was like, man, just throw a little juice on there on the painting. And then I was like, Cool. All right, keep it going. So I made that, and when I made the piece, I in the green section, I was just kind of shaping it out, and then I started seeing people in their images, and I said, oh man, I see something here. So I just started shaping it out more. It kind of happened on its own,
Yeah.
and I was like, "It's people in there on the green section, right?" So I said, "You know what? For the simple fact of what was going on in Gaza, I'm gonna let them have the green section." So it was like twofold. The watermelon looks like a pill. When you look at how I made it, it looks like a pill. So the red part represented the people who are getting taken away from their land, and the green part represented the people whose land is getting taken from them. So it's like people
Fuck
getting.
with it.
So it was just a lot. It was layered, and I put the sticker on there like that. Um, I made sure that on the sticker, if you look at it, you can see the United States, and then you can just see the western part of Africa, because most people who come from that way were Western Africans, other than the indigenous ones too, because that's you can spark a debate with that. Because I know people that's FBA. You ever heard of FBAs? Foundational Black Americans. So foundational Black Americans, they don't. A lot of them don't believe that Black Africans came here on a slave ship. But two things can be true at the same time.
Facts.
There were people that were here before Columbus and them pulled up. So there's people, yes, we got documentation to prove that. But then there are some who were brought over afterwards. So yeah, two things can be true at the same time. So yeah, so look, for butter, I was talking to my friend Cedric, and I'm like, man, I gotta make my entrance. It's like remarkable, right? I'm like, what can I do? I'm like, what do I wear? Like, what do I, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what? I got an idea. Man, I got up, and this was like an audible, like a last minute call, man. I sliced up some watermelon, man. I walked in the butter with a Ziploc bag with 4 slices of watermelon. And when I walked in, we have our toast for the artists up in VIP, and we doing press and people talking. I can read energy. Everybody looking at me like, what this nigga doing? This nigga walking around with watermelon. Like, what's this? They didn't understand. When I got to because I had 3 pieces in the show. I went over there to my watermelon piece, stood there with my watermelon in the bag. I'm standing there chilling. And then so on preview night, you know, celebrities come in, you know, collectors. Tyrese Halliburton came in. We chopped it up for a minute. I tried to get him to buy my piece, but he already has his mindset on like specific art that he wants. Because he was like, yeah, I just bought a house and I bought something from Israel Solomon. You know him?
No, I don't.
Am I saying his name right? Yeah, it's Israel Solomon. Dope artist. So he sold something to Halliburton last year. Okay. And then this year, Halliburton was like, oh, I got some work from him. So he actually collects from him because his style fits with what he's looking for. So that was dope. So when he came over to me, we was breaking it down, talking about, you know, watermelon, and I was telling him like, yeah, I just made the word up, you know, and trademarked it. And you can see it on my Instagram. He's like, oh, we making up words, watermelon, and we just kind of laughing and joking. Yeah. And then as soon as Tyrese Halliburton walked off, this guy walks up with his phone, and he kind of was just like, how do I get this? I said, follow me. Went up to the front. I got that dot, and I was just geeked, man. I was like, dang, I saw my first art piece at an art show. I've never been in a show in my life, bro.
That's fire.
And
your first show was butter?
Yes.
The biggest.
Yes.
So for anyone who don't know what butter is,
it's like going straight to the league.
Exactly.
It's literally
this
a
nigga
walk
went
on.
straight to the league.
Straight to the league.
No
man.
college.
No
overseas.
Straight to the league.
He went straight.
I was so like.
He got a fucking bucket, bro.
Look, get the yellow dot, man. And what makes it crazy is this. This is crazy.
That's so lit, bro.
I had another piece on the other side.
Yeah.
And that's a picture of my Uncle Bernard.
Oh, really?
That sold the same night. I didn't even know it.
Damn.
Like, so it was crazy. Yeah. I was dotted up, man. So, yeah.
We're going to spin the block on butter.
It was dotted up, man. And it was a lot. In that whole moment, though, man, I kept telling them, like, I always tell Alan and Molly, I said, y'all know y'all created a holiday inside a holiday. Because for the people who love art and culture, that's something they look forward to, man. Like, they already on their 5th year working on year 6. Yeah. and it's expanding. They're sharing their business model. I was just in Chicago for Pigmented.
Mm-hmm.
So they went up there, supported them. So I went up there. I didn't have nothing on exhibition or nothing, but Gary G was up there. A lot of other artists, but supporting people again.
That's important.
Even if
Very
I'm not on
important.
the bill, I'm still gonna support the people that's there, man. You gotta treat it like that. You can't. I remember I was at the museum and I was asking people that were artists. I was like, "You going to Butter?" And so, I understand like the sentiment behind it, but it was the way they kind of somebody was like, oh, I ain't gonna go unless they invite me. I said, nah, bro, I felt like that too. As an artist, I said, nah, bro, what you gotta do is you gotta show up,
Yeah.
support the other artists, and then submit your work when the time comes, and go from there. And just be humble and diligent and patient. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was kind of how that was for me, man.
I know artists that be on that. But he cool now. He fuck with Butter. He was just in his little.
Yeah, like standoffish. I felt
yeah.
the way though too. Like I'm like, cause I didn't understand how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is though?
What's that?
It's number one. Here's the key word: curated. It's not like, hey, artists, bring your artwork and we gonna put it on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Man, listen, bro. They curate the shit out of Butter.
Yeah.
Like their curatorial team is like top tier, man, because they have a overall vision, a overall theme, and sometimes like what you have just doesn't fit for that moment. Not saying you ain't dope, but when they go through they go through and move stuff around. We put this here, and then it comes together, which made it so dope. Check this out. My watermelon in piece was next to this guy named Mario Moore. He's from Detroit too.
Fire.
And he couldn't make it. I wish he could have because I really wanted to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
The one I did of my uncle Bernard was next to this lady named Judy Bowman. Guess where she from?
Detroit.
And guess who she knows?
Who she know?
My uncle.
Bernard?
Yes.
Crazy.
She was standing there.
Crazy as fuck.
She was standing there, and when I walked over there to check on my piece, and I was talking to her, and she was like, I think I know him. I was like, you probably do. That's my uncle Bernard. She said that. And she was like, I done been to dinner with him. I know him. They're like colleagues.
Yeah.
Like they're in the same space in Detroit.
Because he was an artist too. That's
Yeah.
Fire.
So and
Fire.
that just made it so it was a full circle moment, man.
And it's like shit like that. It's like, damn, I belong here. Like,
yes.
I had to be here. Like this had
yes,
to happen.
it had to happen the way it happened. Like everything going back to like losing the job, getting dumped. That was God's way of saying,
Boy.
you know you're an artist, right?
Boy.
You know you talented. You need to sit in front of that canvas. Remember them gifts I gave you when you was a kid? Because the biggest thing for a talented person is you're supposed to give your gift back to the world. Whether you sing, whatever it is, you got to give it back to the world. And so I'm grateful that I'm in a position to give my gift back to the world. And that's man, I'm telling you, like, and so like now with these pieces here, I told my sister, like this one, this is hers. I'm gonna gift this to her. Because if it wasn't for her suggesting that I'll get into art, I don't know what I'd have been doing, dog. Like for real. And then my homeboy Cedric, he always supported me too. And so this was from his film. He don't even know it. I'm gonna gift this to him.
Fire, bro.
Because I like these are very pivotal pieces. They mean a lot, but the people behind them mean more. So I'm gonna gift it to them, man. So
yeah, bro.
Full circle moments,
that.
man.
Love that, bro. That's fire.
That's crazy.
I think I got through about everything. Jay, did you have anything?
I'll say real quick, I just had a conversation. I used to work in Arizona, so I just had a conversation with this guy named Miles who I lived with when I worked over there. He's like an older brother. And he was telling me, we were talking about different stuff I've got going on. He was like, God's going to test you the most when you're on the edge of a breakthrough. You know what I mean? You lost your girlfriend.
Facts.
You lost your job.
My mama always say that too. My mother, she says, before things get better, you gotta hit the bottom. You gotta hit that ground before you can get back up.
Yeah, bro. I love your story, bro. It's crazy because, like, I used to see you walking into Vasa all the time. I go to Crunch now in Avon, but I used to see you walking when I would walk into Vasa all the time, bro. And then just to like hear your story now.
Nobody knew. Like a lot of people were surprised because, and that's why I ended up working there. I was a member there working out, and I lost my job. I was like, man, I'm gonna go work somewhere. Fuck it. But I use that as a good platform to network with folks, man.
Bro,
That's the social aspect. I love the social aspect of it.
You
It
meet
opens
so
up
many
doors.
people. You meet
Exactly.
the best people in the
Exactly.
gym, really.
Yeah.
You meet the best people in the
Yeah.
gym.
So like, you know, I use it as a platform to interact with people, and it just strengthens my skill set too.
Facts. Love that, dog.
Yeah.
So what's next? What's next for Mr. Paul?
I'm crafting, man. Make sure y'all follow my Instagram at Paul Bacardi Smith. I'm working on some stuff, so in the event that anything comes up, I'm gonna be ready. So I'm just in that building stage again, man.
Got you,
I'm on the canvas daily. Like
That's
daily, dude. I'm on the canvas daily, like a boxer, dog, or a wrestler. I'm on that canvas daily, man. Like seriously, I'm on that canvas, man.
Yeah.
So for me, man, it's just I'm so like really into the art more than I've ever been in my life. I took like 20 plus years off from art, man. And you know what was crazy? This is what I forgot to mention. When I got into butter, no, let me go back. When I started painting, I told my mother I'm doing art. My mother was like, I've been praying for decades, hoping that you get back into art.
That's so fire, bro.
Me getting here is my mother's prayer and the support of my sister and closest friends, bro.
You know, it's crazy, dog.
Like on some real stuff, man.
Dog, I be calling my mom all the time because I don't stay with her no more. But you know, that's my dog.
Yeah.
So we be talking. I told her some really good news I had. She was like, "That's crazy," because I be praying for you every single
mom's
day.
Always gonna be like, for real though. Yeah.
Every day. And
that's
boy, I would not be here without my mama, boy.
Yeah.
None of her prayers and blessings.
Then what makes it crazier? Here comes some more full circle moments. Let me give you all the full circle moments. So when I told her that, and then I told her I was gonna be in butter, and then some of my family got to fly in and stuff like that. The fact that my uncle Bernard's piece sold the day after his birthday. I was trying to get him to come down to butter.
Yeah,
but he was in Detroit either with the Charles H. Wright Museum or the Detroit Institute of Arts. He had something going on that was doing like a project. So he couldn't make it. And I just wished like, oh man, if he could make it, man, because it was just, man. But I would love for him to be in butter, man. They would love my Uncle Bernard, man. So yeah, man.
Let's do it, butter.
So, you know, a combination of like allowing yourself to just exist in your space. Whatever emotions that you have to allow them to do what they're going to do.
Bro.
You got to sit in the fire sometimes.
You got to sit in it, bro.
You got to let the fire mold
let
you.
That bitch burn.
Like
let
when
it
you
burn.
when they call it refineries, when they going through the metal and melting it, smelting it, whatever the words they use, it goes through that period and it comes out a sword or something, and then they go back whatever. But we getting forged through the iron, man, through the heat. We getting forged, man, like iron, man. So that's But so what's next for me, man? I'm gonna keep going. You know, my uncle, when I told him, he said, "Welcome back," and he said, "You know, you be true to it, it'll be true to you, man." I'm trying to give what's next for me is I'm gonna give what I expect to receive and some. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm giving like, bro, I promise you, like I'm so locked in now. My apartment is a wreck. I probably won't even be able to get a girlfriend for a while now because it's art everywhere. It's paint on the tables. But I don't care, man. I'm locked in, bro. I can't bring if I was to bring a woman into my apartment right now and she ain't into art or none of that, she gonna say I'm out. This nigga trifling. This nigga trifling, man. It's paint jars and art stuff everywhere, man. It's so like, but I mean, what we gonna do, bro? I don't got. You know what's funny? I don't have an art studio, so I turned my apartment into an art studio. I don't care, man. I do not care, man. So I'm locked. I'm living it. I'm literally living it, bro. I'm living it, man. So what's next for me is obviously growth. I'm gonna keep creating envelopes to push. Telling more stories. You know, digging deeper. I'm gonna dig deeper into myself, and I'm gonna challenge myself to really make bold statements. And on Watermelon, it's a series, bro. This is just the first of many. You've seen what Primrose had. All of those pieces except for the pizza box. Two of them I'm about to scale those up too, on the grand scale, on on some fine art type shit.
Yeah.
So any other opportunities like butter or whatever, then I'll be ready.
That's what's up.
So
man.
yeah.
Yeah, bro. Y'all heard it here first. Make sure you tap in with my brother
Gratitude,
Paul.
man.
Make sure y'all tap in with the How You Up podcast. And make sure y'all tap in with Ash and M. Appreciate y'all bringing us a couple drinks. They have been amazing. Paul has been amazing. This
Thank you.
podcast is always amazing.
Gratitude.
And with that being said, we will catch y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.
Cool.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. This like
You, bro.
I've been looking forward to a good pod, man. Just like get some shit off your chest, man.
Yeah, bro. That was fire.
Dude,
Appreciate you.
I'm telling you, if y'all need anything from me,
Of course, bro.
I got y'all. Whatever capacity.
We gonna hit up butter. We want to do a lot of like live podcasts. You feel